Hi, everybody. Today is February 17th, 2020, which is a Monday, and I wanted to take a minute to sort of update you on where we are with classes and to make sure to let you know that, as always, if you need my help, to please email me or come by my office. I'll be in my office all day tomorrow, the 18th. Then I'll be off campus for 3 days, the 19th, 20th, and 21st, but I'll be available the entire time through email, and we can also video chat if you need more help. So then I'll be back for the next couple of weeks. So anyway, we're kind of halfway to midterm, so I just sort of wanted to send a video email to update where we are. So I'm going to go through each of my classes and just give you a couple of little tips and kind of go from there. First, we'll talk about thermodynamics, ES 2310. Right now, we've submitted the first homework, which has been graded, the second homework, which has been graded, and the third homework will be due tomorrow. Now, as I've said before, when you submit on time, I get everything graded really quickly. If you submit late, it's a little bit tougher for me to get to them. So if we end up having to go a little bit late on that, we'll take care of it. But the third homework will be due tomorrow, the 18th, and then I have the fourth homework up, and the fourth homework is the last homework that's due before spring break. It's due March 2nd, which is Monday before spring break. Now, after that, we will have our midterm exam. The midterm exam will be 2 hours. You can bring in a study sheet in your own handwriting with anything written on it that you like. I can proctor you via Zoom on your exam, or you can schedule it with me on Monday, March 2nd or Tuesday, March 3rd. If you need to take it Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of that week, we can make arrangements for that as well. But if you're on campus, I'd really like to see you Tuesday, March 3rd at 10:50. You'll need to leave yourself a 2-hour window of time to take the exam. And what that will do is it will clear us up so that there's no homework that you will have to do over spring break. So before spring break, we have 4 homework assignments and exam. And in thermodynamics, there are no quizzes this year. I kind of go back and forth with that, but this year, no quizzes. All right, the next class we'll talk about is business math. I have an independent study with some students in that class. So we've done chapter 1, submitted it, chapter 2, submitted it, and then we submitted chapter 3. Most Mondays we have a face-to-face lecture. We had one today, and I will post that right here. It hasn't been processed yet, but it will be posted here. And the fourth homework assignment will be due February 21st. So once again, in business math, it's sort of the same pattern, but we have a homework assignment due every Friday. And that means that we'll have 5 homework assignments, and actually the 6th will be due the Friday right before spring break, and we will have a midterm exam. Once again, I would like to have everybody meet me face to face. And the day for that would be Monday, March 2nd. Could also meet you Tuesday, March 3rd. Otherwise, we'll need to make arrangements to do a Zoom conference in order to proctor your exam or have somebody else on campus proctor that exam for you. No quizzes in business math either. All right, the next class I'd like to talk about is fluid dynamics. And fluids, we have covered, we did a math concepts pretest that was due January 22nd. We have a homework assignment. The first chapter was due January 31st. The second homework assignments, or excuse me, this homework assignment for chapter 2 was due February 12th. And we also had a quiz that was due February 14th. I've graded all of that material, and it should be available to you in the grade book. The chapter 3 homework assignment will be due February 21st, which is this coming Friday. And then we have chapter 4, which will be due March 4th. So that means that our midterm exam is also during that week of March 2nd to March 6th. And once again, that's to give us spring break week off with no work. There are some review problems posted, and there's just the one quiz. So in fluids, that's pre-test homework, and then 4 chapter homeworks, the quiz, and the midterm exam. So we'll schedule those appointments. Now, if you're on campus, it may be convenient for you to meet with me either March 2nd or March 3rd to take that exam. If not, I can proctor you via Zoom, or we can arrange a proctor at your location. Whatever works for you, we'll have to make those arrangements. All right, so we've got fluids, business math, thermodynamics, engineering surveying. Now I rearranged this page a little bit because it was pretty messy. So what I did was I arranged it so that all of the homework is due chapter by chapter, which extends the timeline, because I had a couple of homeworks, like the first part of chapter 2, the second part of chapter 2, but I've organized it now so that the chapter 1 lectures and the chapter 2 lectures are together. The homework for chapter 1 follows the lectures for chapter 1. The homework for chapter 2 follows the lectures for chapter 2, and so forth. So the homework for chapter 2 is going to be due on February 20th, which is Thursday of this week. And I've graded the homework for chapter 1. I'll grade this one quickly after it's submitted. Then after we get done with that, we'll do chapter 3, a couple of lectures on chapter 3, and then a homework assignment for chapter 3, which is due on March 3rd. And then we'll do chapter 4, and the homework for chapter 4 will be due after spring break. Now in surveying, we have our exam on Tuesday, or excuse me, we are on Thursday this year, so we're going to have to make arrangements for that week. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to pan out, but no, I apologize. We are on Tuesday this semester. I'm thinking of a different class. So the exam will be Tuesday, March 3rd. And if you come at 3 o'clock, you can come at 2 o'clock if you want, but we need to schedule a 15-minute appointment for each of you to individually set up the automatic level and take a reading. That's the lab portion of your exam. Then the lecture portion of your exam will be 10 written questions. You can get it all done on Tuesday afternoon, but if you want to, we can start scheduling appointments earlier on Tuesday afternoon so that you can, you don't necessarily have to be interrupted. You can do your lab final and then take your lecture final. But in some cases, it may be necessary to have you take part of your lecture final, do your lab final, come back and finish your lecture final. So we'll see how that works out. Now, part of the thing that I did to organize this was I put our labs separately because it just was too messy to put them together. So we've done the first lab, the second lab, and the third lab. We did not have a lab last week because I was off campus. So our fourth lab, the grade on an ADA ramp, will be tomorrow, February 18th. Then we'll have, this is not the right date, obviously. This would be February 25th. And then we'll have our sixth lab would be after spring break, because that sixth period will be, in other words, the Tuesday after March 25th is actually the day for our midterm exam. So we'll have 5 labs prior to midterm, and then this will come after spring break. All right. Now, practical surveying, I haven't cleaned up the web page yet, but I am going to get to this. But we have the same labs. I'll organize them together, the same labs, the same dates as engineering surveying. And then we had chapter 1 homework, which was due January 30th, chapter 2 homework, which was due February 4th, and homework number 3, which will be due this coming Thursday. So I'll get this page organized for practical surveying, and it'll be a little bit easier to follow. So in the meantime, I'm caught up with my grading. If you have any questions, I hope you will feel free to talk to me about that. If you can always reach me by email. If I'm in my office, I'm always happy to have students drop by. And otherwise, please email me and we'll make an appointment so that you can have some undivided time. You don't have to worry about me being called away to take care of anything else. or else just drop by. But please work with me. That's what I'm here for. All right, you guys, have a wonderful week, and let me know if you have any questions.